Firepower sensitive data detection or data loss prevention detects and generates events where intentionally or accidentally sensitive data such as email addresses, phone numbers, social security numbers, credit card numbers, and driver license numbers are leaked from our network. Before configuring sensitive data detection, make sure that FTP and Telnet configuration, IP defragmentation, and TCP stream configuration are active in the network analysis policy. We have activated these settings in the previous video, but to make sure, let's check it once again. First, let's check which network analysis policy is activated globally. In policy, access control, edit access control policy. In the advanced tab, as you can see, our customized network analysis policy balance is activated. Then we have to make sure that the required options are active in active network analysis policy. Intrusion, network analysis policy. Network analysis policy balance is our active network analysis policy. I edit S-Node version 2. Since the required features are not still available in S-Node version 3. Yes. In my changes, as you can see, FTP and Telnet configuration is enabled, TCP stream configuration, and IP defragmentation. Then we can enable sensitive data detection in policy, intrusions, IPS policy 1, again S-Node 2 versions. In advanced setting, sensitive data detection must be enabled. After activating sensitive data detection, some settings are available to configure in sensitive data detection. The first option is mask. If it is enabled, which is enabled by default, replace all but the last 4 digits of credit card numbers and social security numbers with X in the triggering packet. Network specifies the destination host or host to monitor for sensitive data. You can specify a single IP address block, or a comma separated list of IP addresses. Global threshold specify total number of all occurrences of all data type during a single session. The mixture of, for example, credit card numbers, social security numbers, phone number, email address. The threshold is 25 that preprocessor must detect before generating an event. As you can see, by default, there are some data types which are detected by sensitive data detection module, like credit card numbers, email addresses, US phone numbers, social security numbers. But we can add our own data type with the help of Perl-based regular expression, which you can find examples over the internet. For each data type, there is a threshold field independent of global threshold field to trigger an event, which is 20 here. Destination ports to monitor for the data type, and application protocol to monitor for the data type. And for the application, by default, FTP, HTTP, IMAP, POP3, and SMTP are enabled, but you can add, I think, up to 9 applications to be monitored by sensitive data detection module. So they are enabled, but it's not enough to detect and generate event or drop offending packets. We need to also enable corresponding IPS rules in intrusion policies. To do that, we enable signatures with GID of 138, which are sensitive data: credit card numbers, email address, phone numbers, social security. Enable all and change the action to drop and generate events. IPS signature rule with GID of 139 is also required to be enabled to detect and generate events and drop offending packets on combined data type occurrences. Drop and generate event. Okay, and then commit changes. Also, do not forget to enable intrusion policy, IPS policy 1 in access control policy. We have already activated in the previous sections. In the access control, edit, and edit the rule, and inspection. IPS policy 1 is already activated in our access control rule. Since we configured S-Node version 2, I also need to change the device S-Node version from 3 to 2 to see the result of the policy, but I hope that we have sensitive data detection feature also in S-Node version 3 soon. So in the device management, FTDV virtual, in the device tab, the default S-Node version in Firepower 7 is S-Node version 3, but I changed it to S-Node version 2 just to see the result of sensitive data detection, and then deploy. So our changes are deployed in Cisco FTD device. To check the result of sensitive data detection policy, we try to download a list of email addresses through IPS device and then check intrusion events. 192, 168, 188 /emails. As you can see, a list of email addresses are downloaded through IPS device, which is more than 20. Then we can check analysis, intrusion events. As you can see, sensitive data email addresses is triggered when we see the detail of the event. It is dropped with the source IP of 188, destination IP of 117. Our IPS is in inline mode, and the both sides of IPS device have the same IP subnet with the message sensitive data email addresses, and it is matched with our network analysis policy balance and default IPS and IPS policy 1. So it is detected that the sensitive data are leaked from our network and they are also dropped.